I mean, was there a kind of challenge for you in enlarging the property? Because with every kind of passing movie, every sequel, you want to go bigger and better than what came before, and yet at the same time maintain that kind of quite simplistic premise, I guess, which is what makes this franchise so popular.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've seen the film. It's not a simplistic premise, but it is a theme that I think unifies everything that's happening on screen. It's structured in a very different way, and we have two parallel stories that seem to be running alongside each other until you realize they're about to collide, and then they do. And so for me, that the whole sense of making something that has a lot of reasons to be nostalgic, but to push away from that and focus on taking us forward into a place that honestly gives this franchise a reason to continue to exist. That felt like the challenge.
I mean, I got such a thrill seeing Laura, Sam, and Jeff on screen. I mean, how was it being a director in that situation? Because I guess when you would have grown up with this first movie, you would have seen them in those characters. So when you're sort of directing them, are you able to appreciate in the moment that this is a really cool, great thing? Or are you too in the zone and it's sort of something that comes afterwards?
I'm mostly too in the zone, but there are moments. And the one that I remember the most, it wasn't just them as individuals. It was when actually there's this one shot where everybody moves into a space where they're all together in a single frame. And the last person to come in as our new character is DeWanda from the very right. And suddenly all the faces were on screen, and which was a challenging thing to block. I remember telling Steven, like, oh, I gotta block, 7, 8 people like into the same frame. And he's like, well, I did 15 on West Side Story. I'm like, oh, of course you did. Of course you did, Steven. Genius.
I was wondering, I mean, as well, because there are moments in this when the music kicks in, that kind of classic sort of tune. I was wondering if when writing it, when those moments come in, do you almost put like a little asterisk next to little moments that go music?
It's funny, like, I trust Michael's instincts as well, because he and I have the same theory about it, which is that we want to use it sparingly and really effectively. And I think if we use it all the time, you would honestly barely notice. And I know the moment you're talking about, there's a little moment right toward the end where it's just a single piano that I really love, but done very carefully and mostly supporting this amazing new score that Michael wrote.
I mean, this film almost feels like it must have the record for the longest action kind of sort of just no respite. There's a kind of sequence of about an hour or so where it just doesn't stop. How is it sort of writing that? Were you writing it? Because I guess usually, I mean, there's obviously, in often blockbusters you'll get little breathers, but it just felt this film was just going like, you guys want dinosaurs, we're just going to give you dinosaurs. And
it's so fun. Like, I'm glad to hear you say it, because I promise that during that hour, like, there's several minutes of just like talking about genetics or talking about someone's parent. Like, there are these quiet moments, and so to feel like it's relentless and us still have the room to have these emotional moments feels like hopefully we're doing something right.
I mean, you would have directed actors before who have to engage in a fight, in some sort of conflict, and there's so much choreography, there's trial and error. It's kind of really, it's a real dance. How is it directing dinosaurs fighting? Is that a different discipline as a kind of filmmaker?
Well, it's different in that, like, if they're fighting, it's animation. Like, we use animatronics for a lot of dinosaurs, but once you reach that point, you're storyboarding as if it's going to happen on the day, and then you just shoot a lot of empty spaces and things breaking, because we always try to have a practical reaction to anything that happens. So, it'll be very carefully done, and the camera will move here, and then something will go like that. And using that to then go in and trust the animators to make to have these dinosaurs interact in ways that we haven't seen before, often based on new research about how they fought. Like, everyone's a nerd for this stuff. So we really try to apply. We do a lot of face biting in this one.
This is going to sound like a really stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because 8-year-old me always wanted to know. But one of the things I loved about the original Jurassic Park movie was when I was a kid, it felt plausible, right? It always felt to me this idea that if you can get hold of the DNA of an animal, why couldn't you, with scientific advances, recreate it? Do you think anything like this, not to this extent, but the idea of bringing back an extinct animal based on the fact that we could get hold of their sort of DNA, do you think something like that could be done?
I think there's got to be a mammoth somewhere. Someone's got one. Yeah. I mean, it's just not, it feels inevitable to a certain extent. I would say more like Pleistocene era creatures than like Jurassic and Cretaceous, but I'm not going to say it's a good idea. But I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
Yeah. My final question is, I mean, it feels like obviously the door is always open for this franchise to have more movies. Is it something you'd be interested to do more of? Or do you feel like your Jurassic World adventures, sort of the book's closed on it?
I think, for me, it's a little bit more like the job is open. like I'm interested in someone coming to me and saying they have a vision and the way that I had a vision for this, and you know, to Steven obviously. And so I think we're at a point where I'm hopefully if kids now watch this movie and want more of this world that we've created, then it almost will take someone who you know is younger than me who experienced Jurassic in a different way, like maybe on VHS and saw all three of them at the same time, or even Jurassic World, to come up with how we go forward.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Colin. Much appreciated. Cheers.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right,
cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,